Hey racers, it's me, Kitch. Today I just wanted to do a really quick tutorial regarding the Crashcog Cup's D20 mechanics. I know that it's really hard to totally grasp the document sometimes, it's a little hairy, but we're gonna make it make sense because I don't want anyone to feel stressed out about it. So real quick, we're gonna go over the markers. Basically, with every race, you're gonna run into markers and they're going to basically indicate the obstacles that you're going through. So we'll start with the most basic markers. These are directional markers. Basically, if we ever have a track where there is a fork in the road and it's not, certain which way you're going, red means, don't go that way. And then green means, go that way. Pretty easy. Now we'll move on to the most, I would say, important marker for anyone who's trying to win the race, and that is a speed check marker. They're always going to be notated with these golden stars. Basically, what this marker means is that you've hit a speed check. When I'm DMing, I'm going to be, over the race in my aerial unit like this, watching you guys, and I'll send out a yell basically telling you a little description of where you are at in the track and that you need to do a speed check. Speed check is really easy. Basically, you're going to go into your chat window and backslash roll 20. It's always going to be out of 20. And make sure that you say backslash roll 20 because if you just roll, you're going to get a value out of the 100, which we do not want. So a speed check is just a backslash roll 20. In this case, you got a 6. So basically what that means is that right now, your character is at 6 speed, and whoever has the highest number this round is in first place. Now, this number, you want to keep a track of this because every time that you get a speed check at one of these gold stars, you're going to add the value that you get to, this number. So say, get rid of this. Say, you've gone through the race and then we hit another speed check. And, I'll give you the same, prompt, tell you to do a speed check. You'll backslash roll 20. I got a 6 again. So in this case, 6 plus 6 equals 12. So basically, you have 12 speed right now, and that is going to determine your ranking in the race. So whoever has the highest number, again, is in first place. Whoever has the lowest number is in last place. So we could run an entire race like that. And for people who are participating in the animal derbies, that basically is the entire race, is you're just going to be hitting these speed checks, and we're going to add them up. Animal races aren't going to have any hazards or power-ups. They're just going to be a little bit more low-key. So animal racers, you only really need to know the directional markers, and you need to know this marker. So now moving on to vehicle races, the next type of marker that you can hit is a hazard marker. And of course, I chose the skull because what else would you choose? Hazards are pretty simple. I would say they're one of the things that can take away from your speed. So say that you have 12 speed, you want to keep that, you want to keep adding on to it, but you have to deal with hazards. So basically, again, in the race, I'm going to be in the aerial unit watching you guys from above. You guys are going to stop at this marker as you stop at all of the markers. And I'm going to tell you what the hazard is. So like, let me give you an example. Oh God, there's a herd of sheep in the road. That's so unfortunate. Do a backslash roll 20. But then I'm going to give you a barrier. Basically, I'm going to say if you roll 11 or higher, you avoid losing X amount of speed. You can only lose, I think, speed on hazards. You can sometimes lose health, but not as commonly. I tend to usually just have people lose speed. So basically, I'll say, oh, this is what the hazard is. Backslash roll 20. If you get 11 or higher, you avoid taking -5 speed damage. Speed damage is, really simple. It's just a subtracted number from what your speed score is, basically. So those are hazards. They're really simple. They'll vary. Again, they can either be losing speed or losing HP. As a reminder, you start with 0 speed, and you start with 5 health points. And if you ever reach 0 health points, which doesn't happen very often, you're out of the race because your vehicle is kaput. Moving on, we have Power Up and Sabotage markers. These are new this season, and they're very much the same as what you would find in Mario Kart. because you either pick up an item that helps you or you pick up an item that hurts someone else. Now, to keep it simple, there is only ever going to be one item for one person at these hazard diamond markers. Basically, once again, I'll be in the aerial unit, I'll be watching you guys, and you'll be stopped here. I'll tell you what the item is. For example, as a sabotage item, you could say, oh, there's a big magnet, like a huge Mechagonian magnet or something that's going to traction someone back. And you can use that on whoever you want to pull them back 10 speed points. But to get it, you have to roll the highest this round. So again, you're going to roll 20, and whoever gets the highest number, in case there's a tie, you'll roll again, but whoever gets the highest number gets that item. And they can use that at any other point in the race except for the last speed marker, which is the finish line, because, kind of a crummy thing to do. So you can use that item at any point in the race. And the other type of item that you can get is a power-up item. Basically, a power-up item is something that solely benefits you. It affects no one else. So, for example, there's a rocket booster that you can attach to your vehicle and gain plus 10 speed points or something like that. Same drill, you roll, whoever gets the highest number gets the item, and then at any round, except for the finish line in the future, they can use that item and give themselves a boost. With both, this is important, with both sabotage and power-up items, when you reach a marker, say that Kitsch here is racing, and he, at our last round or something, he picked up a power-up item. So you're racing, and you guys hit another marker, and we all stop. It's important that I say something like, using power-up before I roll, because that is going to affect how the DM adds things up. And also, it's not a good idea, just from like a DMing perspective, to roll and then get like a low number and then use your power up. It's better to just do it at the beginning, just for fairness. So yeah, we're gonna do it that way, basically. And with sabotage items, it's the same drill. If you have a sabotage item, you say using sabotage, but it's important that you say you're using it on someone. So pulling a name out of a hat, I'll just say we're using it on Dastin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Dastin. We're using it on Dastin. So say Dastin is racing next to Kitsch. In this situation, basically, Kitsch is going to use a sabotage item on Dastin. To make it easy, whoever is getting sabotaged cannot avoid the item. Just so we cut rounds to be a little bit shorter, make the race seem faster. You can't avoid being sabotaged, but that kind of adds to the incentive of, succeeding on the diamond roll. So yeah, that's kind of how power-ups and sabotage work. They're new this season. I hope they're not that confusing. If you need further clarification, let me know. Next, I want to talk about kind of the breakdown of how rolling rounds go. I'll try and put like a list on my screen here so you guys can see. Basically, how a round works is you're going to hit a marker, no matter what it is, and everyone is going to OOC, out of character, they're going to stop. Remember that in character, obviously, our characters are moving the entire time. It's a race, duh. But out of character, we have to stop because we have to do D20 stuff. So we all start with an OOC time stop. Then the DM is going to describe the marker, but you guys will know what it is based off of, the symbol. He's going to tell you what is in the marker, if it's a hazard, what roll barrier you have to break, if it's a speed check. He's going to tell you to roll 20. If it's a power-up sabotage, he'll tell you what items it is. So you're going to get that prompt first. Next is when everyone is going to roll. So remember, when you hit a marker, it's very important that you don't roll before you know what is in the marker. We didn't really have a problem with that last year, but it's just kind of important to know. So once everyone rolls, depending on the marker, you're basically just going to continue how it is. With speed checks, I am going to add up your total to your previous race score and update, ranking and stuff like that. Speed checks are super easy. If it's a hazard, I try to tell people, like, hey, here's who didn't meet the barrier, here's who lost, speed or HP, just so people aren't missing stuff like that. With more people this year, I might not do that. I guess we'll see on May 1st how much I can keep up. So hazards, I try and tell people, what's going on. And then with the power up hazards, of course, I'll tell you who rolled the highest and who got the item. Because even if, because we have horde people racing, so the highest roll you might not be able to see, stuff like that. So that's going to happen. And between the time that you roll and between the time that, I'm sending out all of this information, it's a pretty good idea for you to start typing up your racer emote to kind of include the RP aspect into everything. So roll, get an idea of what's happening this round for you, and then type out what's happening to your character. Every round, no matter what it is going to end with an update of who's in first place, who's in second place, and who's in third place. Once I send that out, I will follow it up with an out-of-character yell that says, keep going. And of course, that just means keep going. So those are the markers, and that's how kind of rounds work. But the last thing we need to talk about is tracks. This is the fungal circuit. It's where we actually had the first ever Crashcog race. Memories. But this is what we would call a circuit track. As you can see, it is a circuit because it goes in a circle. So basically, a circuit track, it has no map for you to know where it leads. You just drive in a circle. Now, how that works for markers is that you're going to keep driving in a circle until you see a marker pop up. So everyone's driving, and I'll throw a marker down like there. So say you were driving, you round the corner, and then the marker pops up. You're going to go all the way back around, and then you're going to stop when you hit the marker. You're not going to back up. You're going to finish your lap, and you're going to stop at the marker. And then, of course, we'll continue the round as I just talked about. Now, it's different because 3 out of the 4 tracks that we have this year are not circuit tracks. So we're going to use this area in Ashran as our example. A non-circuit track, obviously, it is a start all the way to finish track. It does not go in a circle. Think, I can't think of it. I was trying to think of a Mario Kart track, but you know what I mean. It starts and it ends. It doesn't go in a circle. So basically, I am going to race ahead of you guys, and I'm going to place the next marker before every round. So you guys will know where to stop. The marker will already be there for you. And then when I tell you guys to keep going, it'll already be waiting for you. You'll know where to stop, and then we'll just continue the race with the marker like that. I hope that makes sense. If not, you guys are free to ping me, and we'll figure it out for you. Just one more mechanic that I think is important to know. I kind of got this mixed up last year. The way that the Crashcog Cup works is that whoever races the fastest over the entire season wins the Crashcog Cup. So as you can imagine, attending more races gives you a higher chance of winning the entire season. Think of Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 has that function. You could be first place in, the Grand Prix, but if you didn't race fastest, then your friends, then they're going to have a higher speed score than you. So that's how that works. You can still win races individually, and of course there are bragging rights to that. But if you attend more races, if you're present, and if you're scoring significantly higher than everyone else, then you have a better chance of winning the Crashcog Cup. As far as mechanics go, I think that's everything from me that I feel like you guys should know. Of course, let me know in Racer Lounge if you have any questions. I do need to get a document typed up of kind of the layout of our races as far as where the tracks are going to lead. So you guys have an idea of it. But otherwise, that concludes this impromptu little tutorial. I understand it wasn't very well planned, but I hope that you learned a little bit about what we're doing here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys on May 1st, May 15th, May 29th, or June 12th, or all of the above. See you later.